Alright boys, we're gonna do day 2 of playing with a plate carrier. Just gonna do the wall today, only 20 pounds, I'm not gonna go any higher, and just kind of see how that feels before I actually go on court and play a set. Fix the strap, sewed it back, so hopefully that stays. But today's gonna be another practice with it, just testing it and make sure that everything works properly, so when I go on court, like, I'm not going to have any problems. But anyways, already feels better with the backhand. When I was doing it with 40 plus pounds, getting up to 60, whenever I would swing with the backhand, the weight would keep moving, causing this leg to kind of want to like swing around. And if I didn't let it swing around, it would have really, I think, shattered the shit out of my knee. But with just 20 pounds, it feels secure. I'm really going to try to get into a long rhythm of hitting, so it's going to put the music in and check back with you in probably about 20-25 minutes. So it's been a solid 15 minutes, maybe closer to 20, that I've been hitting. And one thing I can say is I feel safe. My knees feel safe. Maybe backhands are a little, I'd take your time on backhands, but for the most part, it feels safe. Up here, I don't feel the straps digging in, but I just feel the weight on my traps. My traps are getting very burning. My back from like here down, definitely getting a workout because the weight's kind of up here. And the only thing supporting my weight, well, the weight, is that lower kind of half of the torso, which is good. You know, strong back, it's a good thing. My core is getting hit a lot harder than normal. I can feel this, even just 20 minutes of hitting. I typically don't feel any core work until like after a hard match. I'm sure a lot of you get that feeling of like, you know, here is pretty tight after your match, but for right now, I can definitely feel it here. I can feel it here. I can feel a heaviness here. Not necessarily the weight, but kind of just, I don't know. I'm not saying that the weight is making it hard to breathe, but I mean, the direct weight onto my chest is not making it really hard to breathe, but just the overall having more weight is making it hard to breathe. Not in a bad way, but in a good way, as in I'm getting an hour, not an hour, maybe 45 minutes to an hour's worth of work in a shorter span of time, which in my head, I'm thinking tennis players, we don't really train to be long distance runners. And it's okay if you want to go, me per se, I don't like running long distances. I'm not a runner. That's not my sport. So I don't want to have to run endlessly. I want to be able to, if I want to go run, get it over with. And if going rucking or only just 20 pounds on and going running, if I can decrease the amount of time I have to run from an hour to, let's just say, 20 minutes, as a tennis player, I think I'm going to start doing that, because I personally don't really see the point in tennis players doing long distance running. I think you can throw it into your training sparingly, but yet for the mental fortitude and I guess, the heart, and the lung capacity, but those two things you can get out of sprints, and sprints kind of more or less directly translate into tennis rather than long distance running. I don't know, other than the mental aspect, I don't really see a big point in long distance running. I never really did, and I've never really had a stamina issue. I've always just focused on sprints. But that aside, that's for another video where I can test my my rucking / long distance running with a plate carrier on. But for right now, my legs, they're definitely getting hit, but in a different way. They don't really feel sore or too tired, but I'm also not really, most of the workload is not coming from the legs right now. It's coming from that lower part of the torso, and also kind of the upper back too, of keeping all this up. And my shoulders are getting kind of hit too a little bit. I don't know why, but shoulders are getting a little bit more of a workout. But all right, I'm gonna try to do another 20-minute burn, see how I feel after that. So all right. Adding just 20 pounds brings an absolutely whole new level of exhaustion on the court. I mean, I can't really explain it unless you do it yourself. It's just a whole new, and also it is, this is Florida, and it's like in the 90s right now at like 2:30 or something like that during the day. I mean, it's brutal out right now, and adding 20 pounds does not help. Well, it does if you're looking to, get stronger, work on your cardio and conditioning and whatever. It's a new level. What I'm doing in like I don't know, 40 minutes I've been out here, less than that, actual hitting less than that. You know, it feels like I've been out here all day. But I will say 20 pounds is about as heavy as I'm gonna go. 15 would probably be perfect. 20 for me, I like 20. Again, I don't recommend anybody else doing this because, you know, it is adding weight to your body, and I don't think a lot of tennis players lift maybe a hell of a lot, so maybe they are susceptible to kind of hurting themselves. Which, by the way, if you're wanting to be a competitive in tennis, you got to lift some weights and go to the gym. But that aside, that's not what we're talking about right now. I like it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add this to some training. I wouldn't mind playing a set like this. I need to work on getting all these flaps and everything tucked in and squared away. But other than that, I mean, my back is on fire. My heart is on fire. Everything is like screaming at me right now, which is good. But anyways, all right, enough of me rambling on. I'm out of here. I'm done for the day. Take it easy, boys.